I'm angry, I'm mad, I'm disappointed, I'm confused. For the most part, it's confusion. And this book left a ugly taste in my mouth.
The number you have dialed has been changed.
Welcome everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Melissa, here, back for another video. It's so great to see you guys again. I'm trying to be consistent with my upload schedule. Not really sure what days I'm uploading. We're still figuring that out. But I really try to upload weekly and get more content out for you guys. So thank you for watching and being an active participant in my videos. Okay, this is my first book review and I'm confused. Not at the point of the review, but at the book itself. Earlier this week, I got the ebook From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And let me tell you my history with this author. I read her book, Wait For You, and the romance in that book, I liked the story. I liked the topics that it was talking about, like sexual assault and finding love after trauma, and just opening up to people and willing to let people help you. That I love the themes she discussed in that book, and I think she discussed it well. It's just that the only thing I didn't like in the book was the romance. But because it's a romance book, the romance is a big part of the book. So I did not enjoy the romance at all. I just felt it was kind of forced, and the hero, the love interest that the main character supposed to that she fell in love with, I just didn't like him. He just seemed kind of arrogant. Like I like love interests that are like confident, not arrogant. Because with confidence, there's something to back it up. Arrogance is just you're full of yourself and there's no reason why. Just because you're handsome? No, come on, give me something else. There's a difference between I know you guys know the difference between confidence and arrogance. He was just arrogant. And it was the same for this book. Okay, let me tell you the premise for From Blood and Ash. Let me read what Goodreads has written out. A maiden, chosen from birth to usher in a new era. Poppy's life has never been her own. The life of the maiden is solitary, never to be touched, never to be looked upon, never to be spoken to, never to experience pleasure. Okay. Waiting for the day of her ascension, she would rather be with the guards fighting back the evil that took her family than preparing to be found worthy by the gods. But the choice has never been hers. A duty. The entire kingdom's future rests on Poppy's shoulders, something she's not even quite sure she wants herself, because a maiden has a heart and a soul and longing. And when Hawk, the love interest, a golden-eyed guard honor bound to ensure her ascension, enters her life, destiny and duty become entangled with desire and need. I'm not going to read the rest because it's a hella long description. Poppy is a maiden, and that she's the maiden to the Duchess of the land. I forgot the name of the land, but she's the maiden to the Duchess, and that means that she gets to ascend. And ascension is basically giving your soul, I think, to the gods to become immortal, and your eyes go black and all that shit. Excuse my French. And I don't know. I just don't understand. I never understood. The premise was confusing. Okay, I read the premise. I'm like, okay. When I get into the book, I'll understand. When I finished the book, I still had no idea what was going on. There was, in like the first few chapters, I'm okay, what's ascension? I still don't know if I'm getting it right, because at the end of the book, I'm going to get to spoilery parts. I'll tell you guys when it's spoilers. But the first part of the book is hella confusing because you're just thrust into this world, and the world building, although so much information is just getting thrown at you from left and right, and terms are just being thrown around that we're just supposed to understand. The main character already knows what the terms are. There's no explanation. It's just oh, here are the Caden. Well, what the fuck are the Caden? I still don't know what the Caden are.
Is this? Watch your profanity. Right, I'm sorry.
So one thing was the world building was awesome. I liked how Jennifer Armentrout just had so much rich information about the land. It's just that it felt thrust upon us, and there was a lot of stuff that I still wasn't sure if you guys understand what I'm saying. There was a lot of information that just didn't have explanation backing it. Like, we were getting a lot of information regarding things that were not helpful, like the description of the castle or the description of Hawk's physique and his eye color. Meanwhile, when it came to the actual monsters and the hierarchy of the land, we weren't given any explanation. A small part that I didn't like was the best friend. She had a black best friend that I can't remember the name of. Thought her name started with a T, and it felt like her character had no development other than being the best friend. Like, at one point I was like, they got like a little sprinkle of like suspiciousness was thrown into her character, and I was like, okay, something's about to happen. Like, she seems suspicious. Why would they say that? And then nothing ever came out of it. And it was just kind of like, oh, I thought you were going to do something with this. Okay, never mind. And then, so that was another theme, was that there was no overall character development. The characters themselves just felt like typical stereotypical YA fantasy protagonists. You had the strong female, not like other girls, protagonist, Poppy, who was innocent in the sense that she had never been kissed and she'd never had sex. She was innocent in that sense, but she was also a really good fighter, conveniently. And she was not beautiful because she had scars on one side of her face. Very confusing and very stereotypical for a YA protagonist. And yeah, I wasn't fond of her character, also because the events towards the end of the book was why I didn't like her. And another thing was Hawk himself he was arrogant, but he's arrogant, not confidence. It was just plain old arrogance that just, there was nothing to back it up. It was just like, he's a really good fighter, he's really good at killing. And I was like, okay. Why is he here? What's his backstory? Sorry. I'm just so famous. I'm getting so many mentions. I'm getting so many comments, so many likes, so many messages. I'm so popular. And he was just arrogant to be arrogant. Nothing to back up this arrogance. He was, of course he was hot. Of course that he was good at fighting. But we never really saw him fighting. And the fight scenes themselves were also confusing. Let's hold that up. They were also confusing. Mm-mm. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the more spoilery part of the book. So if you haven't read From Blood and Ash by Jennifer Armentrout, please, and if you want to read it, please don't read the rest, watch the rest of this video, but give it a like and share it with your friends and comment and and subscribe. Okay, what the fuck was that ending? What was that? Like, what? I was so mad. I finished it last night and I was so mad. Like, what? Like, the whole time, I was like, Poppy, be shady of Hawk. He's somehow good at fighting, but he never actually talks about where he's from. He has a brother that he feels sadness when he thinks about his brother, but his brother is not actually dead, so he has a bad relationship with his brother. That's suspicious as hell. He's good at fighting, but that we don't know how. He never talks about where he comes from. He appears out of fucking nowhere, and the way they meet was so coincidental and so planned. I was like, I don't trust none of y'all. I don't trust anybody in this book. I was reading this book and I was like, no, girl, don't trust him. And also because I wasn't a fan of the romance because it felt forced. It felt like a formula and they were fitting that formula, and it was just kind of also insta love for me. But like, I didn't understand. Why would like, he turned out to be the bad guy. He turned out to be the guy that we were told about was not a good person. Hawk turned out to be that guy, and I was like, of course, I'm not surprised. It was just all coincidental and nothing really hectic had happened in the book. The book was kind of boring. Nothing was really happening until the last half of the last quarter of the book. And that's why I was like, nah. Her and Hawk were the only two known characters left towards the last quarter of the book. And I was like, if the only character we know now in this environment is Hawk, and it's towards the end of the book and nothing bad has happened yet, then Hawk is going to be involved in something bad at the end of the novel. And I was right. I even have my notes on my e-reader of highlighting sentences from the beginning of the book of Hawk's dialogue, being like, what the fuck? Why didn't he say this? Like, why didn't he elaborate more? Like, he was, I hated him. And then, like, she was angry, but then they still had sex after she found out. But then she tried to escape, and then she tried to kill him, but then he didn't die. And then they have sex again, and I'm like, no! No! Run, girl, run!
Why are you running? Why are you?
Why? Why are you staying? I was so annoyed. I was like, Poppy, why? You knew that wouldn't have killed him. She stabbed him in the heart, and I was like, girl, you know that's not gonna kill him. You know that. And it didn't. And she was like, oh, you're not dead? I'm like, girl,
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
I'm so upset. It was so frustrating. Their whole romance and their whole banter and just the witty banter that they had, and the fact that like he annoyed her but she secretly liked it when he annoyed her. Like, it just, that whole dynamic was just so frustrating and so, it was so disgusting. I just, no, I did not like, I just didn't like this book. I really didn't. The best friend was shady. The best friend wanted to ascend, but the way she spoke about why she wanted to ascend was so suspicious that I was like, girl, you're the only black character in this book. Please represent us. Please. I'm not trying to trash Jennifer Almondchild because I know she's a great writer and her writing is phenomenal. I think her characters are kind of formulaic and stereotypical, and they don't really have any growth. Even the side characters had no personalities or no anything. It was kind of like they were just there to be there so that it wasn't just the two main characters together, you know? Feel other people's emotions. At first, in the beginning of the book, it was only pain. She could feel either physical pain or mental pain. But towards the end, she could be able to take that pain away. But as the book progresses, she can feel other types of emotions. So I'm like, if she can feel pain and now she can feel emotions, How did she not know that Hawk was lying the whole entire time? How? How? Girl, you can literally tell emotions, and the only people's emotions you can't tell are the ascended. So how can you not tell Hawk's emotions? How? That was just one thing I didn't understand. And they explained it, but I don't think they explained it properly.